I'm Arthur Stoller, and this is going to be a short 10-minute intro on how to set up SEnuke fast. SEnuke does one thing very well: it builds links to your site. Why do you want links? Because it's what drives higher rankings for your site. Why should you learn it? Because this works, and it works fast and in the background when you're doing other things. You don't need to be an expert. How does it do it? Well, it does it by creating articles and text spun up from sources and submitting different ones to all the bookmarking directory sites, and all of these link back to you. So let's get started. So let's start with the interface, and we can see the icons running across here. Turbo, which is new, Wizard is standard, Article Manager, Crowd Searcher, and so on. The quick way to start is to start with Article Manager, because that's heart and soul of the content. What we're going to do is create a new niche called Halloween Costumes, and in there we're going to add, you can see there's two options here we're interested in. One is adding articles and one is adding bookmark sites. So we're going to start with the article groups, which opens this window and allows us to go and get some content. Now on the right hand side you'll see where you can connect to. You have all the paid sources like Article Builder, Content Machine, Article Forge, but just for simplicity we're going to start with EZine articles and enter our keyword and let EZine give us some nice content to start with. And here it appears. It's black, totally black, because it's not spun. This has come word for word from EZine. We need to spin it to make it different. There are different ways of spinning it, paid services again, but again SEnuke comes with its own spinner, which for time and ease is very good to use. So we're going to let's spin that up a bit. Now what you can see is all the blue text in brackets are the words that have been spun. So for example, let's take these options here. We have great, fantastic, excellent, and wonderful. So every time an article is created, it will take only one of these options in that sentence, and it will work through the whole article doing the same thing, and at the end, with all that spinning, you have a unique article. Now it's going to do it many times, and that's where spinning is great. We need the same in the article title. So whatever title we put in, we just type in that box and we generate from it, but we must exclude our keyword because we do not want that spun, of course. So let's do this and generate, and you can see scores of titles being generated. So we've done our title, we've done our spinner article. Now move on to the next. The next tab is author name and bio. We can let SEnuke do this, and personally I don't need all this text. I think it's far too much, so I would just make it something a lot more manageable and something a little bit more or less spammy. That's plenty of words, and we'll save that. Now just down here we want to enter once again not to spin Halloween costumes. On the right hand side, the link settings by default are 1, 1, and we can use a combination of naked links, naked URLs, or standard URLs. That just means you use the domain to link through or you use the keyword to link through. So it's nice and random. We're not going to do anything at this stage in this inserting authority, but I do want to show you this on grabbing images that are relevant to us. So what we're going to put in here is SEnuke, please now go and grab us some images based on Halloween costumes. And here they're filled in. So we are now in a position to take a preview we'll just put in what we're previewing, because at this stage SEnuke doesn't know our keyword, and let's spin it up. So here we have our title, we have the body text, we have an image based on Halloween, and the author bio. Another spin, and we can see Halloween starting to make its appearance. And the images are also themed up. So what we've done now is run through the article creation. This is purely for a demo on what it's going to look like when we do the final step. So we're going to save that as an article group. The next content source we want to add to Halloween costumes is the bookmarking group. So we just come back to our campaign, right click and pick bookmarking group, and you'll see that's headed correctly. This time the links are grayed out because we can't place links in bookmarking sites except for specific places. So again, content sources, instead of using an article site for bookmarking, I just tend to use or type in an article myself, and I've manually keyed in a title, and I've manually keyed in 10 or 15 words there. So we'll spin up the title, except for our keyword Halloween costumes, and you can see lots of nice variations for the bookmarking sites. They're all different, and again you can see shorter text here. You might want to add a bit more, but 50-60 words, very easy to enter, and it's not worth using a content source for that. And save. So now on the left hand side we can see we have our article group and content bookmarking both saved as two new content sources. The third step in creating our campaign is to go now to Turbo Wizard and create our campaign, because at this stage we haven't actually created it, we've just created content sources. So we created there, we'll forget about secondary words for now. URL means your link, so we're going to put in your domain, forget secondary. Now tags, we need to enter 3 tags for this to work, so variations of Halloween costumes, and we give a campaign name here, which would be, of course, costumes. Now over on the top right, one more thing here. If we were doing secondary words, we'd be changing percentages, but I've not bothered with that for here. It's just going to be totally on the primary keyword. Now here's where we're going to pull the content into these campaigns. The first article group is Halloween costumes articles, so that's that one, and bookmarking articles. Right click and there's our bookmarking source. So we've picked our 2 sources to use. Now in template, for now use the full Monty, it's the one I recommend, and strategy settings means how long is this going to run for. Well, let's do 1 profile, let's spread it over 7 days, helps it look natural, and 1 link per article. And then when that's done, we're just going to create the campaign. So the process has been completed. Now that the campaign has been completely set up, let me show you some previous examples on sites I've done. What you do is just pick the summary campaign and it will show you all the links it's created. In fact, 189, which is plenty of nice links and all different, nice spread of time. If you cut and paste any one of these into your browser, you'll see they're all live. There's a log file that just details all the steps. Here's the number of accounts created, 297, although of those 297 only 189 were actual links. But as I mentioned in the intro, that's all you have to do to set this up. It'll run in the background, it will take 5, 6, 7 days, whatever you set it up, and at the end of the day you'll have 200, 300, 400 links to your money site.